Hi. Every day I read the Bible, and I read it in a couple of places. I would have a Old Testament spot in the Law and in the Psalms or Proverbs, and then also in the New Testament. And what I do is I try to come up with three thoughts, three ideas from three verses that stand out. And I'm not teaching, I'm not trying to be profound. I'm not even saying the things that I think are most important. They're just curious to me. I think they're interesting. I think they are somehow important to me. And so I journal it, I write it down, and then I post a video. Today in Exodus 34:29, it says he was not aware that his face was radiant because he had spoken to the Lord. And obviously, this is talking about Moses. Moses goes up to the mountain. God gives him, a revelation, puts his finger on stone and puts the law to the stone. And he's up there for quite a while. And when he comes down, it says that his face is shining so much that the people are afraid to go near him. And he's like, hey, come on over. But he didn't realize it. He didn't know that because he had spent time with God, it had changed the way he appeared to the camp, to the leaders, and to the people. And I just think this is really interesting, and it encourages me to spend time with God and to be in his presence, knowing that time that we spend with God will not go unnoticed. And obviously, I don't think my face shines. I don't think I'm some sort of paragon of virtue, but I do spend time with God, and I hope that it changes the way I appear to those that are seeing me. Psalms 83:5, with one mind, they plot together. And obviously, the psalmist is talking about how the nations around Israel plot together in unison to destroy the children of God, the nation of Israel, and God's favored nation. And this verse is interesting to me because I often see the enemies of God working in unison in ways that make no sense at all. They're in totally different camps. They don't know each other or like each other or have anything in common, but they can unite around the fact that God is God and his people are special. And so they act with one accord in ways that just make no sense at all. And there's a verse in the New Testament that talks about the spirit of the air, the power of the spirit of the air, right? That the enemy is active in the lives of humans that aren't connected and united to God. And sometimes they create this sort of force and they're acting in unison in opposition to the kingdom and the good news and the love of God and the love of his people and his glory and honor. Finally, in Mark chapter 2, verse 22, no one pours new wine to old wine skins. If he does, the wine will bust the skins, and both the wine and the skins will be ruined. And I've always known or thought that this had to do with the move of God, right? The new wine speaks to revival and the power of God moving. And every time we see some sort of revival, it's always resisted by the old guard. It always is. Anytime, all the way back to the time of Jesus, right? The people that previously held the kingdom in their responsibility and they wanted no part of Jesus or John the Baptist. And all the way through as organizations have grown and become used by God, and then they wither and start to lose their vitality, God sends a new move. And guess who's standing in the way? Guess who's opposing this new move of God? It's the previous move of God, the previous wineskin. The skin that was holding the previous move is now opposing the current move. And so those of us that have been in the faith for a long time, we need to be prepared for a move of God that feels uncomfortable, that feels like it's just not how we would do it, how we would lead it, how we would run it, and give God freedom. I was just talking to a friend of mine who attends a church that's now led by a young pastor, and I was so proud of this church on the north side of Spokane, who's just allowed their congregation, their building, to be used by this young pastor with his youthful vision, and he's growing it for the glory of God. And they're letting go of the old wineskin and embracing the new wine. That's all for today. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.